From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It is a dry and sunny afternoon across mid-Michigan. Currently on satellite and radar, notice that cloud cover very quickly pushing off to the east, as well as some of that precipitation that we saw earlier this morning. In terms of our temperatures, we're sitting in the mid to low 50s. 53 degrees our current reading in Lansing and Hastings. We're at 54 in St. John's and 56 for our current temperature in Owasso. We'll stay dry and see decreasing cloud cover as we go throughout the rest of the day, but that sunshine will also come along with some very breezy conditions. More details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at Noon starts right now.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at Noon.
We have the details on a few fires that broke out this morning, including one that turned deadly. It's our top story at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dalen Huff. Kirk has a day off. We start with the fire that broke out this morning on the north side of Lansing. First responders say that they were called around 3 this morning for a residential fire on the 1500 block of High Street, just several blocks north of Cesar Chavez. 6 News has learned that a 62-year-old woman has died and another 31-year-old woman was injured and taken to the hospital, according to the fire department. They say that the cause of the fire is from careless smoking and remains under investigation. Stay with 6 News as we learn more. And another fire broke out this morning at a former restaurant in East Lansing. The call came around 9 this morning from the old Tres Amigos restaurant on Grand River and Spartan Avenue. Officials say the fire started on the outside of the building. They told 6 News that they believe someone started the fire to stay warm, and as of right now, there are no reports of any injuries. The government shutdown is set to become the longest in history this week, with no end in sight. President Trump said in an interview on 60 Minutes, he insisted Democrats need to reopen the government before addressing rising health care costs. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
As the stalemate on Capitol Hill hits day 34, impacts nationwide grow by the hour. From airport lines stretching out the door in Houston Sunday.
This is insane. I mean, it looks like I will miss my flight.
To food assistance for low-income families, or SNAP, which came to a halt this weekend, impacting more than 40 million Americans, including Rebecca Hall, a mother of 5.
For people like me that pay PS&G, pay rent, transportation, stuff that the kids need, now you're going to have to pick and choose.
2 federal judges have ruled that the administration must tap into contingency funds to pay for SNAP during the shutdown and want an update from the government this afternoon.
It's very unfortunate that Donald Trump and Republicans have decided to weaponize hunger and withhold SNAP benefits.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the aid could start flowing again as soon as Wednesday.
There's a process that has to be followed, so we got to figure out what the process is. President Trump wants to make sure that people get their food benefits.
President Trump, in an interview with 60 Minutes, continued to insist Democrats must reopen the government first before Republicans negotiate over health care subsidies.
Sounds like it's not going to get solved, the shutdown.
It's going to get solved, yeah. Oh, it's going to get solved.
How?
We'll get it solved. Eventually, they're going to have to vote.
You're saying the Democrats will capitulate?
I think they have to. And if they don't vote, that's their problem. Now, I happen to agree with something else. I think we should do the nuclear option.
The president also said the Senate should get rid of the filibuster to allow legislation to pass with just a simple majority. Senate Majority Leader John Thune has said he's opposed to that idea. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And we'll have continuing coverage on the latest developments with the federal government shutdown coming up on 6 News at 5, and as always online and on our website, WLNS.com. 6 News is your local election headquarters, and voters all throughout mid-Michigan communities are getting ready to hit the polls tomorrow. In-person voting starts at 7 tomorrow morning, with polls closing at 8 p.m. In Lansing, voters will decide on their next mayor, as well as city council at large and city council members for the 4th and 2nd wards. There's also a charter proposal on the ballot and a Waverly Community Schools sinking fund millage renewal. Meanwhile, voters in Jackson County will decide on several tax proposals and which candidates will represent them on city council in wards 1, 3, and 5. Happening today, the intersection of Holt and Eurelius Roads is now completely closed to traffic due to a drain project in Delhi Township. The work began at 7 o'clock this morning, and the closure will continue throughout the week, and it's expected to end on Friday. In the meantime, drivers are asked to seek alternative routes. A new fire station is opening today to replace an older, outdated station on the Lansing's north side. Lansing Mayor Andy Shore is joining members of the Lansing Fire Department right now to officially open the newly built fire station number 2. Officials say this new modern facility will be better to serve the public. The new station was made possible after Lansing residents voted to approve a public safety millage, with includes the construction of a new public safety district court facility, 2 new fire stations, and a new fire training facility. Pumpkins are a favorite and familiar fall decoration, but now that Halloween is done, what can you do with your pumpkin scraps? Well, starting today, you can donate your pumpkins as a treat for the sheep of Delhi Township. Officials say that the sheep help maintain the grounds around the wastewater treatment plant, and they love pumpkins. You can drop them off at the Delhi Township Recycling Center. Just look for the Recycle Pumpkins Here sign. Just make sure that your pumpkins are free of paint and other decorations.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We started our Monday morning off with a couple of very light sprinkles across mid-Michigan. You can see on satellite and radar this afternoon that activity very quickly pushing out to the east, and it's taking most of our cloud cover right along with it. So while we are going to become gradually more sunny as we go throughout the rest of the day, because of this cold front, it's also going to come along with some fairly breezy conditions. Notice wind gusts consistently as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening. Will be between that 20, possibly as high as that 30-mile-per-hour mark. Those winds will slowly begin to decrease as we go throughout the overnight hours tonight and as we go throughout our Tuesday as well. We balance out those breezy conditions, however, with a lot of widespread sunshine. So still going to look absolutely beautiful outside as we go throughout the rest of our Monday. We're staying dry just in time for Tuesday. Cloud cover very slightly increasing across the region by then, but still overall we're looking at partly cloudy conditions in the forecast. As we move into early Wednesday morning, a very weak disturbance will be passing off to our north. It'll give us the chance for just a couple of isolated sprinkles Wednesday afternoon and evening. We return right back towards dry conditions just in time for Thursday. Now, high temperatures during the work week, at least, are going to be fairly mild. Notice consistently we'll be above average with those highs in the mid to upper 50s. We're gearing up for a very big change, however, just in time for the weekend. Those highs come crashing down. We're looking at high temperatures likely in the 40s for Saturday, Sunday, and likely even as we move into early next week. And our computer models are indicating that cool down also going to come along with a small chance for precipitation across the region. Maybe not all of that is going to be in the liquid form. Of course, we're going to have more on that as we go throughout the next couple of days here. Outside right now, again, looking absolutely beautiful here in the city of Lansing. Temperature-wise, currently sitting in the low 50s. Now, wind chill temperatures aren't calculated once our temperatures are at or above that 50-degree mark. However, with winds quite breezy, 22 miles per hour out of the west, it likely is still feeling just a few degrees cooler outside. A little bit heavier in terms of the cloud cover in Jackson, currently at 53 degrees. That peak wind gust 32 miles per hour. Yet again, partly cloudy over in downtown Hillsdale, 52 for your current temperature over here as well. As you head further north, well, the less cloud cover you come in contact with. Temperatures in St. John's currently sitting in the mid 50s. Those winds currently out of the west-northwest around 11 miles per hour. Now again, high temperatures for today will be slightly above average for this time of year. We'll top out right around 56 degrees. Overnight tonight, we stay dry and mostly clear. Our overnight lows cooling down into the mid 30s. Now we are going to be trending generally fairly dry as we go throughout the next 6 days. Again, dry and partly cloudy for Tuesday. Temperatures a touch warmer compared to what we'll see today in the upper 50s. The big change up, again, going to be on the way just in time for the weekend. As of right now, we have highs in the mid 40s just in time for Saturday. Looks like widespread cloud cover in the forecast by then. 20% chance that we squeeze out an isolated rain shower.
So it is a beautiful day. I saw the camera. It looks gorgeous and a little windy, so, you know.
But still, we have that big cool down on the way, so even enjoy it today if it's still breezy.
I know. And maybe the frost word coming.
Yeah, we're likely going to see some patchy frost tonight, but at least in the 6-day forecast, there's no snow.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kendall.